A great man once said, "Be strong enough to be gentle." What's up, guys? It's probably about 14 hours removed from learning about Peter Cullen's death. I know I had to talk about it. I know I had to uh, deal with it in my own way, and this is how I want to deal with it. If you know me, you know Transformers is a huge influence, not just on me, but my creative processes as a writer, as a storyteller, as even a like kind of even influenced my worldview a little bit. That's why things like when the bad guys get away with it, I don't get that because Optimus Prime would never allow that to happen. I tell people this all the time, and I mean this in earnest. Optimus Prime was my first superhero. He's my first superhero, and it's still in my top of greatest characters, heroes of all time. And a large portion of that comes down to his voice, how he spoke, what he would say in situations, things like that. And of course, one of the main reasons for that was Peter Cullen. Now, of course, this comes, within the 2 days prior of Dolly Parton passing away, Tim Curry passing away, many other actors. I always forget his name. He was in. I'm leaving all this in, because at this point I'm not up to editing out a lot of stuff right now. Sammy Monroe Jr., who was in Tales from the Hood, Menace Society, Set It Off, The Players Club, among many others who passed here. Hayden Panettiere earlier this month, Sam Neill, Catherine O'Hara. 2026 sucks. That's the best way I can put it. We've lost so many people this year. This is to say nothing of my own personal losses in my own life with my aunt and my uncle. One of my aunts, one of my uncles. It's been a rough year. I guess I'm doing this because I feel like I owe it to myself and to the few of you who do watch me, who do read my stories, read my fan fictions, or have read my novel, or how I react to certain movies and videos and things. It's just that I like why Peter Cullen, and of course this is not at all to say that Dolly Parton and Tim Curry especially, who had a huge influence on me as far as comedy goes growing up, because he was one of my first comedic heroes, because he was one of the funniest dudes, and he voiced a lot of characters I love as well. Tim Curry voiced Kilo Khan in Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. He voiced Dragonis in Mighty Ducks. The movie Clue, one of my favorites of all time. Three Musketeers, which is a highly underrated, I think, film. Not, of course, doesn't follow the book exactly, I'll admit that, but it's a great, fun time. So much stuff he's been besides that. Of course, the Muppets version of Treasure Island. I can't remember the exact title. I think is it the Muppets on Treasure Island? I can't remember the name right now. I'm so tired. But I'm doing this because so much of what I learned growing up outside of my parents, outside of going to church and everything, that came from mediums like Transformers, like Power Rangers, like Sailor Moon, all that kind of stuff. Because from those shows, from those cartoons, from those fictional characters, I learned about how to stand up for yourself, to do the right thing. That yes, life's going to get hard. Yes, sometimes you may even lose in doing the right thing, but it's always worth it. I learned those lessons from these characters, from their stories, and the people who brought them to life, both names we don't know or writers we don't know, and from the people who voiced them or acted them or whatever, what have you. And Peter Cullen was that for me. He was my first superhero because he voiced Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime to me was the quintessential leader. He was the ultimate commander, ultimate commander of the heroes. He was the one to me who could do no wrong. You know what I mean? Like before Superman and Batman, before Sailor Moon, before Cyclops, before Captain America, before all these other guys and all these other girls who were fantastic leaders in fiction, I had Optimus Prime. I had Optimus Prime. And of course, in a lot of ways, I still do. And Peter Cullen's influence isn't going anywhere because, he was so influential when they did the 2007 Transformers movies. Even Michael Bay was like, or if it wasn't Michael Bay directly, there's somebody in his staff's like, we gotta get Peter Cullen. We want to do this right. We want to make it real for the fans. We gotta get Peter Cullen. And that was the right decision to make. I guess the real thing I'm trying to say here is there's so much of my imagination that wouldn't have existed without the combination of Optimus Prime the character and Optimus Prime the voice. I think if the voice had been different, I don't know if it would have made as much difference. I don't think it would have stuck with me like it did. Same can be said with a lot of cartoons that growing up. I can't. It's like whenever they do a reiteration of Transformers, like a different, everything like that. Oh, and of course they brought Peter Cullen for Transformers Prime as well. When they do something, and something actually, there's something else I remember about Peter Cullen I'm going to get to that's very important in just a second. When they do something different with Transformers, yes. Let me look him up real quick. Let me just look up Optimus Prime and look up all the names, because there have been other voice actors. That did not give me the list I thought it would. Sorry. Because there's some voices from Transformers, like Robots in Disguise, from Transformers Armada. There was some fantastic actors who have voiced Optimus Prime over the years, and to say that they didn't do a good job is a disservice and disrespectful. And I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that, oh, just because they weren't Peter Cullen, they didn't do a good job. That's just categorically untrue and categorically unfair. But but this is the fact. Peter Cullen was that standard. So okay, I think this has the names. Let me see. So shout out to where's the actual no, this doesn't have the actors' names either. Huh? What are the actor names? Oh, here we go. So, oh yeah. Shout out to here we go. Shout out to Neil Kaplan. Shout out to was it Neil Kaplan both times? I don't think so. Was it? Hold on. Oh, here we go. Cartoon. No, Gary Chalk. Shout out to Neil Cullen and Gary Chalk for voicing Optimus in Robots in Disguise and Armada and the Unicron trilogy, respectively. I love what they did. I really do. Legitimately think they did a really good job. Shout out to Chris Hemsworth and Transformers 1. But all this started with the brilliance and the effort and the passion that was Peter Cullen's performance as Optimus in the first place. And not just that, Peter Cullen did so much great work. He was just recently, of course, he was the Thetis in Invincible. He provided vocalizations for the Predator. I actually didn't know that. He provided vocal effects for the Predator. I didn't know that. In the original Predator movie, he did. He was Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh. Let me see. Did voices in Voltron, Fleet of Doom. Oh, and GoBots too. That's hilarious. That's hilarious that he would do something in GoBots as well. A lot of people don't know, because didn't GoBots? Well, he did GoBots for GoBots Battle of the Rock Lord. So that was the movie that came out, which I don't think I've ever seen. We have, and he did voices in G.I. Joe the movie, Zendar, and when the Nemesis Enforcer. Holy snap! He did Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends. He did Bruce Banner, the Hulk, Mysterio, and Red Skull. I didn't know that either. 1982 Spider-Man. What else? What else did he do? He did Voltron. He sure did. Of course, Transformers. Probably additional voices in tons of stuff. Let's see, what else? Ghostbusters. He did Ghostbusters. The cartoon. The original. The Filmation's Ghostbusters. The 1960, which I think predates the real Ghostbusters. So. That's a whole thing, and he was in the real Ghostbusters too. This guy had one of the best careers. He did voices in Ninja Turtles, Tailspin, Tom and Jerry Kids, Tiny Toon Adventures. He did voices in Megas XLR. Get out of here, bro! Are you kidding me? That's insane. That's so crazy. But one thing a lot of us 90s 2000s fans, anime fans especially, remember was Toonami. His voice in those vocal bumps. One of my favorite was the machinery one was a mechanized army of circuitry and metal. These what had to do it? These machines built by man serve no one. If you ever get a chance, go to there's a YouTube channel. I'm going to look it up and put the link in the description down below. Go watch all those old bumpers and promos for Toonami. Peter Cullen, masterclass of a voice. I say all that to say this. He was another voice of my childhood that's now gone as well. It was Kevin Conroy, Jason David Frank, now him. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not okay. I'm just not. I know for a lot of people were thinking, you didn't know him, you never met him, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but you don't know how all that stuff shaped me. I made AMVs when I was younger because of those Toonami bumpers, because I always wanted to do something that, and this is true, I always wanted to write something that maybe Peter Cullen would voice, like a character Peter Cullen would voice. And of course, far-fetched dream, I did, and everything like that, but I always wanted to write a character worthy of Optimus Prime. I'll never forget. Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. I even loved. There's a scene in the Return of Optimus Prime, the Transformers, where he's talking with Galvatron, and they're going to get the metal to deal with the hate plague. And Galvatron's like, "Come on, Optimus, tell me. You have explained how this metal will be used. Why is it so precious?" And then Optimus goes like, "I've told you all I can so far." And then Galvatron replies, "You told me it was important, but you didn't tell me why." And Optimus' response, picture perfect, says, "That's because I know you too well, Galvatron." Keep in mind, Galvatron and Optimus hadn't officially met yet, but he's like, "This is still Megatron. I don't care what he changes into. This is still Megatron at the end of the day." But all I can say is, to Dolly Parton, to Tim Curry, to Peter Cullen, thank you for all the good times. Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for all you did for us fans. And instead of my traditional outro, I'll just say what Optimus Prime would say right now. Till all are one.